If you're trying to eat high protein, low carb, stay consistent, and save money at the same time, then this video is for you. Hey fam, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is DeeDee. In today's video, I'm gonna be showing you exactly how I'm prepping a budget-friendly lunch and dinner prep, all right? Those meals are all full of flavor, packed with protein, and they taste amazing. Now, for those of you that have been following me, you know I've been able to lose 95 pounds, and a lot of that success is due to making sure that I'm setting myself up for the week through meal prep. All right, y'all, today's lunch meal prep is some delicious, cheesy, stuffed bell peppers that are full of ground turkey. And our dinner meal prep, y'all already know that savory, delicious oven-baked pork shoulder steak. Okay, I'm back. With a side of sautéed cabbage, y'all. Both meals hit the spot. These are the kind of meals that are helping me stay consistent and not feel like I'm restricted with the way that I'm eating. So if you've been struggling with staying consistent or eating out too much or not even knowing what to make for meal prep, then I got you in this video. All right, y'all, let's jump right into this meal prep. To start off with these bell peppers, y'all, I got these colorful bell peppers, yellow, orange, and red. And we're gonna start off by hollowing them out so we can blanch them. So some of them are standing up pretty straight, some of them are a little wobbly, but just to make sure, I saw this cool trick if they're not standing straight. So this one is good, I'll leave it alone. What about this one? Okay, it's a little bit wobbly. You can just go ahead and cut off a little bit of that pepper on the bottom just to straighten it up. And now it's standing straight. So I'm gonna keep these little pieces because we're gonna cut them up later. So that's all I'm gonna do for now, y'all. Just test it out, see if it'll stand straight. And if not, we're just gonna go ahead and make it stand straight by cutting a little small slit and straighten it up on the bottom. That one was standing, but I just wanted some more orange bell pepper. Wobbly, wobbly. Put the pieces to the side. I also had a little bit of green bell pepper left over. I'll add that to that as well. Now let's get ready to hollow these out. And that's it, y'all. I'm gonna do the rest and I'll be back. All right, y'all, these bell peppers are nicely hollowed out. Now we're gonna head over to the stove. I've had this pot of water boiling on the stove, and all we're gonna do now is just place these bell peppers in to blanch for about 5 minutes and soften up. We'll be back, but while these are blanching, let's get back to those extra veggies. All right, y'all, so you remember the tops that I actually cut off of the bell peppers? We're not going to waste those tops. All I'm gonna do is just cut around that stem, and we're gonna chop these up to be a part of the filling. I also have about half of an onion right here as well that we're gonna chop up to add to that filling as well. The veggies for our filling is complete. Let's go ahead and check back on those bell peppers. These bell peppers have been blanching for about 5 to 6 minutes. I've turned the burner off, and now we're just gonna go ahead and take them out and allow them to cool down and move on to the next step. And that's what they look like, y'all. They have definitely softened up. They are all sitting upright. Now it's time for us to go ahead and move on to that skillet for the next step of this meal prep. I placed some avocado oil in this skillet, and it's time for us to put our peppers and our onions in. We're gonna allow this to cook for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then we will add in our ground turkey. The bell peppers and onions have been cooking for about 5 minutes, and now I've just added in the ground turkey. I know some people use ground beef. I've been using ground beef and on occasion, but it seems like I've been veering more towards ground turkey for a lot of my recipes lately, so I decided to use it for this one. I know ground turkey does not have like a lot of grease in it, so that's pretty good. I don't feel like I'll have to drain this. Just mixing everything on in. And now it's time for us to season our meat. For the filling, of course, you know, I'm gonna be putting in a little bit of garlic powder, some onion powder. I'm gonna use a little bit of ground cumin, some paprika, some ground cayenne red pepper, just a little bit of Creole seasoning, some ground black pepper, and a little bit of salt. Mix it in. While this is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and add my bag of cauliflower rice and steam it in the microwave really quickly, and we will be back. Now I'm gonna place some tomato paste into this filling. I'm placing about 2 to 3 tablespoons. Now it's time for our cauliflower rice. The cauliflower rice has steamed and it has drained. Now we're gonna go ahead and mix that in. Now for the cheese, I have some Fiesta blend that has some Monterey Jack, pepper jack, but also some cheddar cheese in it. But I also had a half a block of this pepper jack Monterey cheese with some jalapeno peppers in it from when I made my egg rolls recently. So y'all, it tasted really good with the egg rolls. So I'm gonna go ahead and shred this up, and we're gonna add that to that filling. All right, y'all, our cheese is shredded. Let's get back to this skillet. My last step before filling up those bell peppers is to add some cheese. I've added about a handful of Fiesta blend, and I'm also adding about a handful of the pepper jack, Monterey Jack, and jalapeno pepper cheese that I just actually shredded. Now we're just gonna mix this up. All that cheesy goodness, y'all. Oh, I'm so excited. Who gets excited for food? Who gets excited for food that you know you can eat and be guilt-free? This is ready to go, y'all. I'm gonna turn my burner off, and let's get ready to fill up these peppers. Today I plan to place my cast iron skillet in the oven for these bell peppers. I've already sprayed the bottom of the pan with this avocado spray, and I also sprayed our bell peppers. I'm gonna start off with placing a little bit of the pepper jack cheese that I shredded up on the bottom of each bell pepper. We want this thing cheesy, cheesy, okay? Now it's time to put in the filling. Placing a scoop in each, about a scoop in each. I know I just placed a scoop and a half in that big yellow one. Okay. Placing just a little bit more cheese on each one before I fill it up to the brim. Let's put one more scoop of filling. Last step is just to put a little tiny bit of that cheese on top that we just shredded. All right, y'all, let's head to the oven. The timer rang. Let's take a look at these bell peppers. Very nice. They are fresh out of the oven, and that's what they look like, nice and cheesy. I'm just actually placing some fresh cilantro that I just cut up. And this is what our stuffed bell peppers are looking like, y'all. Oh man, I cannot wait to dig in. The cheese is melted so nicely. All right, we're gonna put this to the side and finish up our meal prep. For the next part of our meal prep, we're gonna start off with these pork shoulder steaks. I got them buy one, get one free at Winn-Dixie. You already know I'm about that budget-friendly life. All right, we're gonna rinse these off and I'll be right back. Our pork shoulder steaks are all rinsed off. I'm gonna spray just a little bit of avocado oil. And we're gonna start our seasoning process. Y'all already know my staple seasonings. I'm starting off with some garlic powder and of course some onion powder, some Nature's Morton seasoning. This is low sodium. I'm in the mood for some Creole seasoning as well, so we're using this. Some black ground pepper. We've got some paprika for color and some ground cayenne red pepper for some spice. This side is done. I don't want to lose any of this seasoning, so let me show you what I'm doing next. I've got my baking dish that we're gonna place into the oven, and what I'm doing here is just placing the seasoned meat side down right into this baking dish, okay? We don't wanna lose any of that flavor by flipping that over on that cutting board. We're just gonna go ahead and put it right into the pan. These are pretty big, y'all, and I'm hoping that it can fit. All right, well, you know what? We're gonna make it fit, okay? We are making it fit today. Now we're gonna do the same exact process on this side of the pork shoulder steaks. We're adding the same seasonings, and I always tell you, season to taste, okay? Just because I put these staple seasonings in, you may not like them. So make sure that you are seasoning it the way that you like it, because that's gonna be the way that you're able to sustain your way of eating. I also say that because y'all know I love me some spice. Everybody doesn't like spice, okay? Just because I like spice and I add cayenne to everything doesn't mean you have to. So definitely use the seasonings that you like. All right, y'all, these are very much well seasoned. Another thing I like to do is add just a little bit of broth. Today I am using some chicken broth. I'm adding maybe about a half a cup to this pan just to give it a little bit of moisture. I'm also adding about 2 tablespoons of butter. I like to just slice it up and put it on the ends. And I decided to put just another tablespoon on top. I also had some leftover green bell pepper, so I'm just gonna go ahead and slice that as well on here. Not chopping it up, just slicing it up. And it'll give it some good taste and it'll infuse into this pork shoulder steak. Can't forget about the onions. I have about 1/4 of a medium onion as well. So I'll just slice that up and place that in here. Last step is just to add about half a cup of water, just to add to that broth and to balance everything out. I like to start off with covering it with foil when I'm placing it in the oven. All right, now it's time to go into the preheated oven. It's been preheating at 375 degrees. So while our pork shoulder steak is in the oven, we're gonna get started on our cabbage. Our cabbage is all diced up. Let's move on over to that skillet. The skillet has been preheating on medium-high heat. Just gonna mix the cabbage up with the avocado oil and allow it to simmer down some. Cabbage looks like it's so much, y'all, when you first put it into the pan, but you already know that's not the case. As soon as it cooks down, it'll be like a little bit of nothing, but it'll be enough for our meal prep. I'm gonna allow this cabbage to cook and simmer down for about 5 more minutes, and then we'll start our seasoning. It's been about 5 minutes, and now I'm just mixing this up. I see a little browning on the bottom. Uh-oh. Get that back in there. Don't you hate when you try to cook and the items try to jump out like they don't want to be in there? They got to get back up in there, okay? All right. The cabbage is cooking good. Now it's time to season it up to get that flavor. You already know I'm going to start off with my garlic powder, my onion powder, my Morton's Nature seasoning. We're going to put in just a little bit of ground cayenne pepper, some ground black pepper, and just a tiny bit of salt. We're going to mix it up and allow it to cook down some more. All right, we've mixed it up. Let's allow it to saute and simmer down some more for about 8 to 10 minutes, and we'll be back. Y'all, while this cabbage was cooking, I thought about it. I went to my fridge. I have some of these real bacon pieces. They're 100% real bacon. They're fully cooked. And I said, why not, y'all? Why not? This is my meal prep. I want that little bacon flavor in this cabbage. So I'm just adding maybe about 1/4 of a cup of these little bacon pieces. I'm gonna stir it in and allow the cabbage to cook some more. Let's add a little bit more. Okay, that's it, y'all. Enough with the bacon pieces. Enough. I was thinking about it. We making pork shoulder steak, okay? And this is the side. Bacon is pork, so guess what? It matches, okay? Let's let this cook some more, and we will be back. All right, let's check back on this cabbage. Y'all, this cabbage is cabbaging, okay? Oh, it's smelling so good. I think me adding those little bacon pieces to it definitely amped this up. Oh yeah. Y'all, our cabbage is pretty much done. That's one thing I forgot to tell you. Sometimes I actually place a top over my cabbage just to go ahead and help it cook some more quicker. The top does have like a little hole in it to let it steam out. But y'all, this cabbage is done. Look at this cabbage. I'm gonna turn the burner on low, keep it warm. Let's check in on this pork shoulder steak. It's been about 30 minutes. Looking good. Let's go ahead and flip them around. And this is what they look like right now. They are absolutely not fully cooked, but we're gonna go ahead and place them back in the oven for another 30 minutes, and then we'll take a look. Ooh, that thing is looking nice. All right, we are going to flip this around. We're gonna place it on broiler mode now, and we'll be back in 3 minutes. Y'all, our pork shoulder steak is complete. Let's pull it out and see what it's looking like. And this is what it's looking like, y'all. Nice and juicy. Ooh, I can't wait to tear into this. All right, let's put this to the side and let it cool off before we begin to plate our meal prep. And here is our lineup for the next 4 days, y'all. The yellow bell peppers were much bigger, so I just added a side of cabbage with those, and I'll eat the 2 bell peppers on the other days. So that's for lunch. And for dinner, we have our juicy pork shoulder steak with a side of cabbage for 4 days. Y'all, this is our meal prep. Super delicious, super filling, definitely high protein, low carb. All right, fam, before we wrap this up, let me tell you how to keep this meal prep tasting good all week, because that matters. As far as storage, do your best to put your meals in airtight containers if you can. That'll keep your meals fresher longer. These meals will stay fresh in the fridge for up to 4 days, and if you need them to extend longer than that, especially those bell peppers, you can always freeze them because they freeze really well. Now, as far as reheating tips, like for the stuffed bell peppers, you can definitely use the microwave, like 1.5 to 2 minutes. Put like a damp paper towel over them just to make sure that they don't dry out. But for the best texture, you can definitely use the oven. Put it in there for about 10 to 15 minutes on 350 degrees, and baby, it comes out fresh. Now for the pork shoulder steak and the cabbage, you can definitely use the microwave as well, but just be sure to stir it halfway through. So if you have it in there for about 1 to 2 minutes, just go ahead and stir it at the 1 minute mark and check it out, because you want to make sure that you don't overheat it and you don't dry it out. But for the best flavor, you can reheat this in a skillet on medium-high heat. You can add like a little bit of butter or oil to that pork shoulder steak just to make sure it's juicy, and that will give you the best flavor. All right, fam, this is your reminder that you do not have to overcomplicate this journey. Simple meals, real food, staying consistent, that's actually what works. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, go ahead and drop a "I'm staying consistent" in the comments below to show me it's real. And before you go, let me know in the comments below, which meal are you willing to try? The stuffed bell peppers or the pork shoulder steak? I wanna know. Let me know. All right, fam. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.